It's a warm day in late fall, and because it's so warm today, it feels a little bit like spring. But if I pay attention to the signs around me, I know that it really is fall, and winter is coming. Hello everybody, Jim Krumholtz, pastor of St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Edison, with this week's Gospel reading and sermon preview. This week's Gospel reading comes from the 13th chapter of Mark's Gospel. In this chapter, Jesus is teaching his disciples to notice the signs of the coming of God's kingdom. One way to look at this section is to see it as Jesus teaching us to be ready for the end. Be prepared to stand before God in judgment at the end. That may sound ominous, like winter is coming, but if we listen in this text carefully to the Master's teachings, we can hear words of encouragement and hope for a new beginning, the start of a new age. At the end, we discover that it's not the signs of winter we're looking for, but the signs of the coming summer. Jesus tells us to pay attention to signs of budding life. Where do you see signs of reconciliation between God and the world? Where do you observe the signs of God's love and God's mercy responding to human hatred, fear, and judgment? Where can you witness the signs of God's creative power of resurrection and new life, overcoming the power of death and destruction in the world around us? We can observe and note all of those signs taking place in Jesus' own death and resurrection for us. In Jesus, we are reconciled to God. In Jesus, we find God's love, grace, and mercy. In Jesus, we receive the promise and the hope of resurrection and new life. In my sermon this week, I will explore in a little more depth how faith in Jesus fixes our hope on the sign and vision of God's new beginning, even as the world may be crumbling around us. We'll also talk about how the promise of resurrection gives us life-giving resurrection work to do in this world now, as we wait and we watch for Christ's coming. Join us in worship this Saturday at 5:30 p.m., Sunday at 10 a.m. This week we mark the beginning of the Advent season. In the church, this is a quiet season of reflection and anticipation where we watch and we wait and we open ourselves to welcome God's gift of love and grace in Jesus Christ. So let me invite you into a time of quiet evening prayer on this Wednesday evening, December 6th at 7 p.m. here at St. Paul's. Peace.